Director. Christian's now going to walk us through a brief safety moment.
Thank you, Riley. As a safety manager, safety is always on my mind, so I wanted to take a moment and explain the 4 exit signs in this room. There are 2 exits to your left and 2 main exits to your right. In the case of any emergency, take these 2 main exits, take a left, and follow the exit signs down the stairs to exit the building.
Thank you, Christian. At TCB Roofing, we pride ourselves in taking care of business the right way. We take care of business through efficient scheduling, strong supplier relationships, and minimizing all disturbances on site. We take care of our people through our safety practices, not just for our crew, but for the people surrounding our sites. This includes the cannery, patrons, and staff. We take pride in our work by delivering roofing systems built to the highest standards designed to perform in the harsh desert conditions here in Las Vegas. Some previous projects that we take pride in is the F1 paddock here in Las Vegas and the UNLV Medical Education Building. The F1 paddock was a fast-paced, extremely technical project under intense scrutiny from the Las Vegas community. The Medical Education Building at the UNLV had a complex mechanical ductwork systems on the roof. The completion of both of these projects successfully demonstrates our commitment to excellence, even when the challenges are significant. For a brief project overview for the cannery, we have an expected cost of $3.17 million with a duration of approximately 3 months. I wanted to emphasize that our primary goal is to safely limit the disturbance of the cannery casino's continuous operations. This is approximately a 2,700 square project using a Sika 60 mil PVC to recover the existing roof. We're going to have 2 crews working in parallel to meet our expected 3-month project duration, and we have anticipated 2 challenge areas. This includes the ballast roof demolition as well as the canopies and the debris and dust that could potentially come into the casino. Both of these challenges will be handled with strict safety controls, careful planning, and coordination to minimize impact on the daily operations of the cannery. Now Sophia is going to walk us through our estimate.
Thank you, Riley. So building off of that great introduction, I will now be going into our detailed estimate and our proactive procurement strategy. Starting with our estimate breakdown, as you can see above, and as Riley stated, our total costs for the cannery are $3.17 million. This equates to roughly just over $11 per square feet. I would also like to point out our largest cost component, which is our PVC roof system. This is at $1.84 million, which is 58% of our total budget. Overall, the estimate balances cost control and long-term performance while minimizing disruption at the cannery. Moving on to procurement, our strategy is designed to adhere to our schedule rather than react to it. Above, you can see that after material contracts are issued, we have 7 days for shipment confirmation, 21 days for fabrication and delivery, as well as an additional 7 days before installation. This buffer ensures that we have plenty of time to make sure that everything is ready for each phase of the project. All of our critical materials will be tracked with our procurement log, which will have everything from shipments and material readiness for installation. This allows our team to address potential delays before they impact field operations. I'll now pass it to Tyler.
Thank you. As you can see up here, we have our site logistics plan for the cannery hotel casino. We have 2 main driveways into the property, one on the north side, as you can see there in the red, and one on the south side. Now we have several load-in areas shown in yellow on the site logistics plan. We're going to access the roof through the use of stair scaffold that is shown in white, and then we have several dumpster locations shown in blue. For area E, circle carrying the ring, you can see we're accessing that from the south side of the building, while the stair scaffold set up there, as well as a loading area. Areas A and B will be accessed through that southeast corner of the property, and includes also the stair scaffold there. And finally, area D will be accessed through that northeast corner. That location is slightly different with the dumpster. We'll be using a dump truck there that can be moved in and out during hotel operations. So that way, come nighttime when it's a little more busy, they can move that dump truck out a little bit. Moving on to some project constraints. The main goal is to safely maintain hotel and casino operations throughout the duration of the project. And this really focuses on minimizing the effects on the interior space throughout the duration of the project. One one of the key things that we'll be focusing on is due to the open ceiling space in the casino, is limiting vibrations on the roof and the odds of debris and other dust falling through to the casino area. One factors that we'll be implementing into this is clipping up this wing on the underside of that grid system that you see to catch any debris that could fall while we're screwing through the metal deck there, or while we're just working on the space above. We'll also be focusing on electrical safety as we are replacing the pipe supports and working on mechanical equipment, following proper lockout tower procedures. We'll be also focusing on our safety from high up areas, including the tower where we've had access to the stairs, so we'll make sure our workers are tied off at the top using proper safety equipment. There are several different roof types on this project, but the main one is shown here in this detail that is the same for area A, B, E. See, it's slightly different with a different deck, but it follows the same procedure where we'll be installing a new cover board that is mechanically fastened down, and then installing a fully adhered membrane on top of that. Area B will be being fully demolished, and we'll be installing a new vapor barrier, reusing the existing installation, and then fully adhering the cover board there with a fully adhered membrane on top. Some of our processes that you can see here include our cover board fastening patterns that will be mechanically fastened. We'll then be applying our membrane on top of that cover board. We'll be using a sprayer with a fan pattern and the Sika adhesive to fully adhere it down. And then after that, we'll be using a 75-pound roller on top to press the membrane in properly. We'll also be using a automatic seam welder, which will help maintain consistency throughout all the seams. We can touch on that a little bit more later. And now here's a few for the schedule.
Thank you, Tyler. So I will now walk you all through our detailed schedule. We'll start with a notice to proceed. As you can see above on the screen, we will start that at January 26, 2026. We'll then have permitting and submittals completed by February 20th, followed by mobilization and safety setup completion, which will be February 27th. Construction will officially start on March 2nd. So the way our schedule is we have two separate crews. Work is divided by roof area executed using these two crews. Crew 1, shown in blue, will begin in area A and progress to area B, while crew 2, shown in orange, will start in area D and move down to area E. We start in area D because this is the first thing you see when you first go up to the casino. We would like to minimize congestion, reducing disruption to hotel operations and their guests. Moving on to a few of our milestones. Area D will be completed in mid-March. Area B will be completed at the end of April. Area A and Area E will be completed mid-May with substantial completion on May 21st. Final closeout will be June 2nd. This will conclude our 3-month schedule. I'll now pass it back to Tyler.
Thank you. As you can see here, we have our labor loading throughout the duration of the project. We started with 31 workers at the beginning of the project, and stepping down to 27, 25, and 14 respectively throughout the duration of the project. We are a Tier 1 contractor, and all these workers do work directly for us, which allows us to efficiently manage our workers on site, and allows us to make sure that we are being most efficient and safe throughout the duration of the project while limiting disturbance to the hotel. Our average is about 26 workers overall. Now for the product information, we will be using a Sika Plant 60mm fully adhered system on the roof, and we'll be following the Sika Roof Adherence Handbook, as well as the ProWell Technical Bulletin. We'll also be using the Cyclone 2170 adhesive, which I said will be fully applied using a fan pattern on the spray. Some of the field information before we start, we'll be taking surface temperature readings of the deck to check for any existing leaks. That way we can be aware of them. After we demo the Area B roof, we'll be taking moisture content measurements of that concrete deck to make sure it's properly prepared for the vapor barrier that gets adhered to it. We'll also be collecting our product test reports, and we'll be conducting field quality control reports, which we can touch on more later as well. And finally, we'll have a manufacturer walk the job once it's complete to get their acceptance, and we'll be providing our warranty documents shown here, which include the 20-year system warranty and our 5-year workmanship warranty. And for some quality control, as mentioned, quality control all comes down to the products, which comes into that product test reports, our execution, and the delivery and storage handling. All material will be stored properly on site using proper recommendations from Sika. In addition, we'll store some material in a warehouse so we have it ready in time. With regards to execution, we'll be following all Sika's information for application, And we'll be using an automatic seam welder, as previously mentioned, to help us maintain the consistency that we need by regulating the heat, the pressure, and the speed at which we are applying the seams. We'll also be seam probing all of our seams after each shift, and we'll be calibrating our automatic seam welder before each shift to ensure that they are all the seams are properly done per safety guidelines. And now here's Christian to talk about safety.
Thank you, Tyler. So at TCB Roofing, we believe safety is a shared responsibility, and it's also a core part of our culture. That's why it takes collaboration between all entities on site, including TCB Roofing, Cannery, Casino, and Hotel, and if needed, our electrical and mechanical subcontractors. So our safety process begins well before construction even starts. We conduct a pre-bid walk where we consider any questions with the owner, and I was also present on this walk to develop any additional preventative safety measures which we could add to the bid. During pre-construction, we conduct another walk which will survey the roof for any conditions or latent defects. This proactive approach allows us to get ahead of any issues that we notice and implement a safe, effective solution. And then during construction, I will conduct a weekly on-site walk where I can communicate any job and specific safety concerns with the on-site team. And then in order to keep our workers safe, we conduct a daily safety huddle before each shift, where we go over the high-risk activities of the day, associated hazards, and associated mitigation techniques so that everyone gets home safe at the end of the day. And then my main priority is to keep the public safe. So the main concerns are at the entrance and exit canopies and leading edge work, because these are in close proximity to heavily trafficked areas. We will implement controlled access zones below overhead work, and we'll implement a spotter or flagger to monitor public traffic so that they can access the building safely without being bothered. And then finally, when applying adhesives to the roof, we will shut down nearby HVAC equipment so that fumes are not drawn into the building. And then finally, in case of any emergency on site, we have included the nearest emergency room and the nearest fire department location.
Thank you, Christian. So, why TCB Roofing for the Cannery? We take care of business through our efficient 3-month schedule, our 35-day procurement period, and our emphasis on limiting the disruption of the Cannery Casino's operations. We take care of our people by keeping safety at the forefront of everyone's minds and by prioritizing the needs of our clients. We take pride in our work by building roofing systems that can withstand the Las Vegas desert while meeting the demands and deadlines of our clients. Our goal is to not just complete this project successfully, but to earn your trust and be your first and only call for all future roofing needs. I'd like to thank you again for this opportunity. We'll be taking questions at this time.
Great job. The question I have for you guys is, what backup or contingency plans do you have, whether that's weather related or due to the fact that this is an ongoing operating casino?
So we do have some flow built into our schedule, which will help with that. Also, just overall hotel operations, the schedule is developed in a way where if we needed to move to another area or pause an area, we could work somewhere else. Kind of mentioning how the crews, because they all work for us, are flexible. So that really helps us without it, but we'll be in constant communication with the ownership of the cannery to ensure that we properly move around the site and that we do adjust for any potential hiccups that could come up.
Your team put together a very thorough written presentation. You followed up very well, made a great impression here today in person. If I was inclined to select your company for this project, but told you that your proposal was approximately 5% over our budget, are there areas of this project that you and your team could potentially value engineer that you're comfortable with? If so, what are they? And if not, are you inclined to hold fast to your current proposal as written?
I guess I'll talk to that as well. We have to do a little more looking into our estimate, but I know there's definitely some areas that we could adjust for. One of the things that we did factor into our initial proposal was a boom lift to get to that tower. And after conducting our site walk, we did notice that there were stairs to get up to the top, so that's an area of potential savings. In addition, some of the other estimate items that we do have included in there, if we look at a little further, potentially get there, but it is.
We'll take 5% off your proposal, right?
Hi, great presentation. So, your team was able to walk the property yesterday. You were able to look at all the different roof sections, details. Was there anything that you saw on the walk that you would change in your proposal or in your presentation? Or
Yeah, so I noticed, especially when walking, I noticed that the supports for all the utilities and pipes, it was just another layer of PVC, and it was peeling up a bunch in certain areas. So I was like, for our pre-bid walk, we could include asking the owner if they would like us to upgrade that into like the walking mats, which are meant to actually withstand some wear and tear, and it'll also adhere to PVC better. And then we also noticed that some of the conduits were disconnected, leaving the wire exposed, which also raises some safety concerns that we have to look at further.
Good morning, great job, all set. So my question goes around risks, right? And risks that you identified with this project. When you were going through, and we had a pretty short period of time, was there anything of particular concern that your team identified and that you're like, I don't know about this, and is that going to cause us to like go down a rabbit hole or have a problem on the job? How did you balance that in your proposal? So an example might be delays caused, that might affect your schedule or cost overruns.
So from a safety perspective, I guess is the biggest risk that we focused on. Several things which is, work like the tower, with the stairwell going through it, those aren't really identified in the prior documents. So making sure our workers are tied off up there is a little bit of a different situation. With regards to cost overruns and stuff, it all comes down to how the existing membrane was installed. Looking at it from on-site, that's the only area where if that existing membrane was slightly different than what we budgeted for, which I really didn't notice anything. That is the one scenario where we could fix some cost overruns. From a weather perspective, luckily our schedule does have us going from March to June. So being in Vegas, luckily we get fairly good weather. So from a cost overrun perspective, schedule's not a huge concern. It'd be more from unidentified circumstances on the job site, or potential scenarios that might happen from this use over the past couple of years for that roof.
Thank you, TCB. We're happy to have you guys here. I wanted to touch a little bit on the sequencing of the way you guys want to do this project. So each one of the contractors we're talking to, everyone has a little bit of a different approach. Now, we obviously are very concerned about the guest experience, the customer experience on our end. We know that this project's going to be inconvenient. I mean, we geared our entire casino to keep people inside and enjoying the meeting atmosphere. So we're not really criticizing anyone's approach, but we would like to know why you guys decided to start the bid, how you want to finish, how you want to move through the project, and what was the rationale behind the choices you made in terms of your schedule and sequence?
So as far as starting, we decided to go in that front middle area as we labeled Area D. This is the very first thing you see when you pull into the cannery, and we want to get on and off of that area as soon as possible to minimize any disruption, and then work our way back.
Yeah, the idea would be that we have all our material stored in the back of the property on the south side. So by starting that north, it allows us to work there and then work back, so we're not going over work that we have already done. We don't have to risk potentially damaging that work. And it also allows us to get away from the front as soon as possible. Overall, as mentioned, the safety, customers and clients are a main concern of ours as well, for you guys. So we want to make sure that they are not disturbed. So as we do canopies, we'll make sure that areas around there are properly protected. You mentioned inside, chances of vibration and other stuff falling through the roof. We'll ensure that those areas are properly protected in a way that minimizes any chance of your clients or customers having a different experience than they normally have at your casino hotel.
And building off of what Tyler was saying about the sound and the vibrations, we do understand that there is an open ceiling inside of the casino, so we have to really focus on mitigating any kind of loud noises, drilling that can affect anyone inside of the building.
And really quickly, so crew 2 starts in area A and then also in B and canopies as well. When do you think area B will be worked in? Are you gonna completely finish area A and then go to B, or will you halfway through B? Because I didn't see when B was broken down.
Yeah, so great question. So area B, as we go through area A, will actually be completed in the middle section of area A. We'll get area A to a point where we're not worried about water infiltrating it. They'll move over to area B, finish that, and then continue to work down. That way, once again, they're not going over their work. Obviously, we'll take every precaution needed to ensure that we're not having water go back into the already finished area or underneath that existing membrane. But the idea would be that we just continue to work off the roof, just to maintain the roof quality throughout.
Okay, thank you, that was great.
Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning, and congratulations to the Vegas 13. If your company wants to work this project, you would be responsible for fire extinction safety on-site program. It looks like you have a robust program. You have all your mechanisms, safety mechanisms in place. What would you do if we found one of your employees working unsafe? Do you have a disciplinary policy in the company? If so, what is that policy?
Yeah, so we have a 3-strike policy. So the first incident, it would be a verbal warning to that worker. If there's a second incident, then it's a written warning, and then third incident, it'll just be kicked off the job site.
Yeah, but something to find numbers nowadays, isn't it? You throw the baby out with the bathwater, or would you do some retooling, some re-education, or?
Well, obviously, yeah, the goal is to keep everyone on site, keep all our workers there. So with the verbal warnings, we'll also re-educate them through our safety program and just kind of give them a reminder of what the proper things to do on site are.
And I do want to add, this is a benefit of us having all of our own workers there. We're not subcontracting that out or not hiring outside labor, is that we have them go through our training process initially, and we have other workers that we can also bring onto this job
And I
site.
assume that anybody can stop unsafe acts on the project, correct?
Correct. Yeah, in the training process, they're actually encouraged to keep an eye out and hold each other accountable and everything like that, because that's what really develops a good safety culture.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, last question. As you know, AI is becoming such a big part of so many things we do today. Did you utilize AI as an aid in any part of your presentation in project preparation?
Absolutely. So at the University of Florida, we're exposed to Total AI and a software called DocuCrunch, and we were actually able to use Document Crunch with some of the proposal.
Okay. So along with that, then, based on what you've learned from this project, how can you see AI being utilized in the roofing industry?
So as far as a safety standpoint, which on this job is very important, and on every job, I'm very experienced with using the softwares that take the 360 camera, and I think that is a really great program and tool to use throughout the entire construction industry. So you're able to use this open space and log in on to Procore or wherever you're going to send out any information to your clients and the owners, and that way they can see progress and they can monitor any kind of safe or unsafe activity, and that can be dealt with using open space.
Fantastic. All right, well, you guys did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.